Hello folks, welcome to Dave's Repair and Whatnot channel. Well, today what we're going to do is we're going to work on a toilet. I'm going to show you how to replace the inner working parts of the toilet. Hey, these parts cost you about 10 bucks, take about 20 minutes casually. I mean, we're not going to have to work hard or work fast. We're going to have this done in 20 minutes. Gonna be easy, gonna save you probably about $100. That's what a plumber would charge you. And trust me, if you've got just some basic tools, this is going to be an easy job. Going to save you quite a bit of cash. So, hey, let's go ahead and get started. And here is the only tools that we're going to need to make this happen. We've got a big adjustable crescent wrench. We've got a pair of pliers, and we've got a towel. You don't necessarily have to have this particular crescent wrench. I'm only going to use this to turn on and off the water meter. You may have a tool that works better for you in that situation, so don't worry too much if you don't have one of these particular tools, but definitely going to need you a pair of pliers, and hey, we all got a towel in the house, so this is going to be an easy job for you, I promise. All right, well, the first thing you want to do is you want to go out to the water meter, and I'm going to take this, remove the lid. All right, when you're looking into your meter box, of course you see the meter, and this is a piece of metal sticking up. Each one of these may be a little different from each other, but basically what you want to do is take your wrench or whatever tool you can use, and you want to turn that completely sideways to shut off the water. So once you get that going this direction, whereas before it was going this direction, now you know it's fully cut off. All right, well, the next thing we need to do is we need to turn off this valve that's down below the toilet, get it in the off position. And if you're wondering why I did not just turn that valve off and why I turned off the one at the road, is trust me, about 90% of these valves under toilets and under sinks, about 90% of them leak. So it's just an extra precautionary measure. Anyway, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take this flapper, that's what this piece here is, this one right in the center. We're going to undo it, and I'll be able to show you here a little better in just a second what I'm doing. I'm just unhooking this thing. It's just two little rubber ears on here, and you can't mess this up. I mean, this is really simple, folks. It will make a lot more sense here in just a second. All right, see these little rubber ears on here with these holes? That's where it was attached, is right there. It's a little hard to tell when I had it on there, but that's all you're doing is you're just removing that. And this piece right here, this round piece, that's what was going down in this hole here. So it was setting to where that round piece went down into that hole, and this ear was onto that little tab right there. And there's one on both sides of this little post here. So anyway, we're removing this old one here, and what this does is if you hear water constantly leaking through, generally this part here is what's bad. So we're going to change this part out first. All right, so what else we've got to do is we've got to take this little chain piece here and unhook it from the toilet lever. And once we get that undone, we can just reverse these steps and put the other one on. So now what I'm going to do is take this towel here, and I am going to set it down into the water of the back of the tank here, and I want to get the rest of this water out, because when I remove this piece right here, water is going to want to fall out onto the floor and probably on me as well. So what I want to do is I want to just sop up this water here and get this water poured out. And now I am underneath the toilet here, and what I've got to do is take my pliers, and I have got to undo this nut right here. And the reason that I got all the water out of the back of the tank earlier with that towel is at this point right here, when I totally remove this, this is when water would be gushing out all over the floor. You see, I did get a little bit come out of there, but not a whole lot. So now what I got to do is I've got to undo this one piece right here, and we are almost done. So using my pliers, I got it loose, and now I can unthread it with my fingers. And once I get that completely off of there, I'll be able to pull that top piece out. Okay, well, we are ready to replace the new one, and here's a seal that comes with it. You can see that it's shaped kind of like a hat. Well, you want to put that hat downward position, and what you want to do is just slide that right over the threaded portion of this new float system. And you can see now that I've got it installed, and we're just going to take this and we're going to just set it right down into that hole there. And now we're going to go up under the toilet and put the two nuts back on. Yep, just the same as what it was earlier. We just take this nut that locks it on there, and we're going to put that on. And what I like to do before I get that nut on the bottom tight, I like to make sure that this is in position with, that's where that water tube was located earlier. So I want to put that water tube on here, but I want everything to where nothing interferes with each other. This is the only moving part that we have, so I just want to make sure that this hose right here is not going to interfere with it. So as long as I keep this pointed this direction, everything should be just fine. And for the final piece of assembly from underneath, we're going to reattach the hose. And on this hose, you don't want to just really put all your force. You just want to get this real good snug. That's all it takes for that rubber piece in there to seal up. So just get it snug, and you can always come back and test it. And if you want to make sure that it's not leaking, you can always, once you're sure that you've got this dried off, you can put a little piece of toilet paper here just to see if it continues to get wet. If the toilet paper gets wet, you need to tighten this a little more. But if you over tighten it, you can do damage to that seal in there, and you'll need to replace the whole hose here. So that's why I'm telling you that little warning. Now we are down to our final piece of assembly. We are taking the flapper, as it's called, and we are putting those little rubber ears on those tabs that I told you about earlier. And man, I tell you what, we are so close to being done. It is awesome. Just going to take this chain here, and we're going to attach that to, I like to put it on the middle. Mine has three different parts here you can put. You can see there's a hole here, and a hole on the end. I like to attach that chain right in the middle one here. If you have to pull the lever a long way to get this to try to flush and it's not wanting to flush, you need to tighten this chain up. So that's why there's 3 adjustment holes here, is so that you can put the chain at a different position on this rod here, and that helps tighten the chain here. So that if you're wondering why there are 3 adjustments on here, that's what that's for. So if you've ever noticed, sometimes you can just flush a toilet and just easily push that handle and it goes. That's why the chain is properly tightened. And sometimes you'll have a toilet where you have to hold it down for a long time. That's also because of the incorrectness of the chain tightness. So let's add some water and we'll try it out, and we'll see how our chain tightness is, and if it's not correct, then we will adjust. Okay, well, I turned the meter back on out at the road, and now I'm going to turn this one on. And looks like everything's doing what I need it to do. We got water coming into the back. All right, well, we've got water in the back of the tank here, and looks like we're right at the water line level that it suggested on the side of this pipe here. And if the water level is too high, what you can do is you take this piece right here and you're going to turn that counterclockwise, and that's how you lower the water level. If you want to raise the water level, you go clockwise. Okay, well, the middle position on the lever was not working for me, so I put it on the third setting. Let's try that. Man, yeah, that is what we needed right there. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So if you have to hold the handle down for a long time, what you want to do is change the chain to where you put it out on the furthest setting of this lever. And now the chain is much tighter, and I'll tell you what, that did what I needed it to do. Well, folks, look at there. We just got our toilet fixed. It took us 15 minutes, and we saved ourselves about $100. It's not how much money you make in life, it's how much money you do not spend. And if saving $100 in 15 minutes, that's making $400 an hour. We couldn't have made that kind of money today. Well, folks, I appreciate y'all watching. Hey, if you would, hit that like and subscribe, and hopefully I can help y'all with something else down the road. Love to read your comments. Y'all let me know how this worked out for you. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great day. See y'all soon. Bye-bye.